Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Roy's Tie-Dye Sci-Fi Corner. This is episode number 287, The Abyss, the classic 1989 film starring Ed Harris, Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio, and Michael Biehn. With me tonight to discuss this classic from 1980s, the late 1980s, is my friend, my co-host, and Ross Amico.
And Ross Amico. Hi, everybody. This is me cramming on the subway. The good old days. Yeah,
the good old days.
I used to take the train to Temple University.
Really? Did you do that?
That's when I did all my homework.
That was you?
Yeah, that was me. I'm sure now everybody would be on their phones back in the day.
Yeah, really. No. They'd have been on their pagers.
on their pagers. Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Ross is ready for action. Anyway. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. It is Friday night here, and we are in the latter part of January 23rd of 2026, to be exact. I just want to say hi to the folks that are joining us. And first on my list is Catherine Speck. Catherine, welcome. And she's saying, great opening. Glad you're enjoying it. That's our compliments of our friend, Mr. Jeffrey Morris. But glad you're enjoying it. We love it.
Good to see you, Catherine. Haven't heard from you in a bit.
Yeah, Catherine. Great to see you out there. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a nice New Year. Happy New Year to you.
She's in the area here, so she's got the storm coming up too.
Oh boy, yeah. We'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. we can't let that go by.
Yeah.
And Shari is joining us, and she is joining us. She's saying, hey, guys, just getting done with work, listening in my car. The theme song sounded great in the car. Thanks, I'm glad you enjoyed it. And Martin is joining us from New York, and he's saying, hi, everyone. When you thought it was safe to go into the water, they let this movie out. Hey, Charles, how are you doing down there? Charles is joining us from... Charles, I'm going to say Florida. It's either Florida or Georgia, but correct me if I know it's one or the other. I'm going to go with Florida, but it might be Georgia. But anyway, great to see you out there. Hope you're doing well. Haven't talked to you in a while. So thanks for joining us. May is joining us from Canada. Welcome, May. Great to see you out there as well. And Warren is joining us from Canada also, saying good evening. Good to see you both. Thank you, Warren. We'll be seeing you a little later, too. And also, Bill is joining us. Hey, Bill, thanks for being out there. And Bill, I'm slipping. You're going to have to tell me where you are at. And I'm getting better, but I'm slipping. And Leslie is joining us from New Jersey, right down the road. Welcome, Leslie.
Howdy.
And also, I see Lou is joining us. Lou, good to see you out there. And Lou, I'm sorry to get back to you. Lou and I were texting a little bit earlier, but anyway, Lou's joining us from Rhode Island. Great to see you. And Mr. Jeff Rubel is out there, and I want to say happy birthday to Jeff because I got a Facebook announcement saying that it was his birthday today. So, Jeff, my birthday present to you is I am not going to sing to you. I'm going to have Ross sing to you instead. In all seriousness, happy birthday, Jeff. And
happy birthday. Yeah. I'm just shutting off the talk of texting made me shut off my phone because
there you go. And Don is joining us from Delaware. Good to see you out there, Don. I knew I was okay. Kennesaw, Georgia. Okay. I knew it was one or the other. Charles, thanks for letting me know. Welcome again. And I also see Jack Daly is joining us. Welcome, Jack. Saying good evening. Battening down the hatches, getting ready for some snow here in West Virginia. Oh boy, yeah, it's coming up this way too, Jack. We're supposed to get it Sunday morning, very early in the morning. It should be lovely.
And all day Sunday and into Monday.
Yeah. Charles saying, still making those wonderful Space 1999 uniforms and jackets. Yes, definitely I'm going to give you a plug for that, Charles, because if you are a Space 1999 fan and you're looking for a really cool uniform, Charles Gordon is the man to see about it. He does the year 2 jackets and he does the year 1 and year 2 uniforms. In fact, I got my jacket back there on the hook. So you definitely will not be disappointed. So yes, definitely. And I see Graham is out there. Graham, welcome. He's saying good afternoon and / evening. And Bill is saying Long Island. Sorry, Bill. Hey, and Colleen's out there. Welcome, Colleen. Good to see you out there. Colleen, I think, is joining us from Colorado, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Colleen.
Is that the photo taken on the beach in Colorado?
Maybe, Ross. I could use that beach about now.
From the shores of Colorado.
Yeah. All I'm seeing is a beach of snow coming. Jeff is saying, thanks for not singing. Ever seen Mars Attacks? That happens to me. I have not seen Mars. Oh, wait a minute. Mars Attacks. Isn't that with what's her name? From Sex and the City? Oh my God.
Yeah, I think she's in it. Everybody's in it.
Yeah.
It's a Tim Burton remake.
Yeah.
Or 50s homage.
Yes.
Martian Attack.
You know, when I saw that movie, this is total digression, folks. So if you're ready to be digressed tonight, you've come to the right place.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that film while I was waiting for my car to be serviced at the Sears store at the Phillipsburg Mall, back when it was actually the Phillipsburg Mall was there, number one, and number two, when Sears was still there, because they had closed Sears down and then pretty much it was abandoned. But they actually had a car service center there, and that I was having my car taken care of, and on the television they had Mars Attack playing.
That's the way you want to see a movie.
You know it, Ross. Actually, the second way I want to see a movie is on my phone. You ought to try it sometime.
Oh no, you didn't watch The Abyss on your phone. Oh my God. Yeah. I thought maybe you walked over. Yeah, the theater's there. I thought maybe you walked over to the theater that was showing, but no, you watched it on the TV in the garage. No less.
As you can see, folks, Ross has taken a step back. He's actually backed himself up in his chair, which means that I have put him into the mode by telling him about how I watch movies.
This is where I become the imperious leader. I just sit
by
here.
Your command, Ross. By your command.
By your command.
Bill is saying I actually miss Sears. Yeah, I do too. But anyway, all right. I think I caught up with everybody. Everybody, thanks again for being out there. I always want to welcome everybody. So here we go. So we were 10 minutes late anyway, getting on because of
Ross.
No, it wasn't even Ross. It was me. It was me this time.
That's why I never bothered to show up until 7 o'clock.
Ross is like, he's here. So anyway,
I'm like wolfing down my linguine.
Yeah. Did you have pasta tonight too, Ross? That's actually what I made.
Oh yeah.
I made ziti.
I mean, when don't I make pasta?
Yeah, I made pasta.
So there's like an 80% chance of pasta.
And only a 50% chance of that.
And 100% chance of snow.
Hey, the Hague is out there. Hey. John, welcome. Joining us from Pennsylvania, Pennsyltucket. Great to see you out there, John.
So yeah, are you ready now for the big storm? Are you ready?
Oh, no. Okay. Here's the thing. Before we start delving into,
we got to talk about the storm.
We have to talk about
because people are here to hear about the abyss.
Yeah, I mean, we are in the abyss right now of this storm that is going to be taking place.
All right.
If you live anywhere in the Northeast corridor and doing kind of a world, I don't know, if you're kind of going at an angle, and actually in Texas is getting hit with this. Ryan,
it's coming from the west. Yeah,
they're getting hit. Anyway, it's coming and it's making its way up and it's going to be a mess. And they're talking about this is like the biggest storm in years. I was told by two different people in two different stores earlier this morning that in this area, potentially they are expecting potentially up to 24 inches of snow. And I heard that from two different sources.
So naturally, that means I have to buy lots of firewood and donuts.
Don't forget the bread. Don't forget the eggs. Don't forget the milk.
No, it's like
Don't worry about anything else, but make sure you have those three necessities.
I think a lot of people are like me, and they've been prepping for this for like 3 days already. What else can I use? Oh, damn, I'm out of jalapeno peppers. Now I got to go to the store on the weekend.
I mean, our biggest fear is that the power goes out. And fortunately, we have a lovely neighbor who is going to lend us a generator, and honestly, is a backup. And of course, being Mr. Tech that I am, God help us.
Well, like I said before the show, you got to get 2 of them, and then you can rub it together for heat.
The third course, Ross, is a YouTube video.
You can get it on your phone. Yeah.
Which I'll watch on my phone. Exactly.
Yeah. You have to make sure your phone is charged before the power goes out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Warren is saying, Roy, it looks like your tendency to butcher people's last names from time to time is getting much better, because you had no problem with Master Antonio tonight. Thanks, Warren. Yeah.
I didn't even notice.
I must be a pod. Oh boy.
With the snow.
Yeah, Bill's
so, you know what I was doing today? What's actually, that? For like the last 2 days, I've been trying to. I'm like paranoid about the birds. I'm worried about the birds. So I'm strategizing to like figure out, because if we're gonna have 2 feet of snow, you know, not gonna be able to eat. So I'm like strategizing to figure out how I can get like the maximum amount of feeders out there. And so I went out there and tying up all extra suet feeders, and they're gonna have seed bells hanging tomorrow. But you know, the doves, they can't get up there, so I have to have like some platform feeders and everything else out there. And they're gonna get pulled up because it's gonna be an inch of snow an hour. Yeah.
The other last week, now snow geese. Now Shari's an avid birder, as you know, but for weeks, snow geese were not showing up. So last week, when I was going up the one road, and there's like so much farmland, it's such an open area, and it's absolutely gorgeous. There were probably had to be like 10,000 snow geese going by, and it was crazy. And I actually I taped it, and it was amazing. It was such a beautiful sight, but they were so loud. So I could see you, Ross, out there, you know, putting all the food out, and then and they're like, the heck with all the suet, human. And they converge on Ross, and it's like something out of the birds.
Yeah, the blackbirds come when the seasons change, and they just peck everything clean. But anyway, so that's my my anxiety. I'm okay, but I worry about, you know, because all of my animals are so weakened from being fed all the time. They've forgotten how to fend for themselves.
Well, no, if you think about it, though, I mean, with everything that's outside, I mean, it's amazing that nature does what it does. I mean, if we were outside like that, forget it.
Yeah, I know.
Graham said, been showing some David Lynch movies at the local cinema. Just got back from watching Mulholland Drive. Sadly, not showing Dune, which I'd love to see on the big screen again. Oh, thanks for sharing that, Graham.
And where are you, Graham?
Yeah, where are you at? Please remind us.
Yeah.
Jeff said, this weather is so weird. Out here nowadays, it's winter that never was. Most of the coldest days are in February, then it warms up. Charles says, I have a call coming in. Try to get back as soon as I can. You all stay nice and warm. Be careful out there. Thanks for jumping on, Charles. Great seeing you, and hopefully you can check back. And if not, catch us on the rewind. Martin said, bread, eggs, milk, and toilet paper. Sounds like COVID all over again. You know, it's funny. I was thinking of that.
You know, I had the front window open yesterday. It was so warm. It was 50.
Yeah.
So I opened the front window, and I had it open for a while, a couple hours. And now, you know, it's going to be in the teens or lower.
Well, and the day before it had bottomed out. It was so freaking cold. It was crazy. And then, you know, you have like 40-degree temperatures, and like you said, almost close to 50, or maybe it was 50 where you're at. And it feels like, you know what, it's like balmy out because you're acclimated. Hey, Marianne, thanks for joining us. She's joining us from the Poconos in Pennsylvania, and she said, no more snow.
Snow capital of the world.
Bill said, Ross, are the birds hanging out on your jungle gym?
They watch everything I do.
Graham's from the UK. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for being out there, because it's late out there, Graham. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ross. I'm sorry.
No, once in a while I get an email from, there's a film forum in Philly, and they'll have little film festivals, and they'll show the David Lynch movies. And I was just curious if he was around, if it was something local that was within driving distance. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I'm not driving to the UK.
Yeah. Warren just said a Lynch screening. Brilliant. Yeah, as we know, Warren's a huge Lynch fan as well. Hey, Randy. Randy's joining us from Wisconsin. He said, I'm late, or were you on time? Actually, it's a little bit of, well, no.
A little bit of both.
I was going to say a little bit of both, but not really. we were not on time. Yeah. Well, actually, we were on time if you're saying were we late. So maybe that's what you meant. So I'll say yes and yes. So yeah, to what Ross said, a little bit of both. Sherry just said, open water is important to the birds. I bought more suet for them too, and there are so many robins here too. And Jack is saying, super strange temperature change from super train to snow piercer in 2 days. Yeah, it is really crazy. So anyway, I think we covered everything in regards to, just stay safe, folks, and stay warm. And that's the other thing that's really crazy. It is going to be like we're going to be having these lower temperatures at least for another week to 10 days to 14 days. I mean, it's going to be cold.
So the snow's not going anywhere.
Yeah, the snow is definitely not
going. It's going to stay.
Yeah. And that's a true statement too, Randy. A lot of work, a lot of brain power went into that. You're absolutely right. It's one of those days.
Let's talk Abyss.
Let's talk Abyss. Yeah. So, Ross, did you see this in the theater?
I did. I saw it at the Boyd in Bethlehem, my favorite movie theater in the Lehigh Valley.
Nice.
Which no longer exists, sadly. But it was, you've been to the Boyd, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Back in the day. One
of the old movie palaces. Yeah.
Well, I saw this movie at the Easton Eric back in the day, and unfortunately, that no longer exists. It's, what is it, a parking garage?
That's crazy. Yeah. Why would they tear that dive down?
I missed the Eric. I mean, it was the Eric 1 and 2, and then they built the 3 and 4, the smaller theaters.
Yeah. Is that how many were in there? 4 at the end?
There were 4 at the end. Yeah. And when they had the first two, the first one was the smaller one. That was the one that was on the left side, and on the right, that was the bigger theater. It was the Eric 2. And then what they did was, when they expanded and you walked deeper into the building, it was 3 and 4 in the back. And I don't think those were large theaters, but you're talking the days before the what do they call it? The multiplex theaters. I mean, for them to have four screens in there was such a big deal.
Yeah.
And then they had that movie theater across the street, right?
Well, that was after my time.
Didn't they?
Are you talking about, was it associated with the Eric?
No, it wasn't.
Are you talking about back in the day? Like back in the day before there was a Boyd, I think on the same street, but that was just, I don't even know if that was around when I was a kid. I would have had to be like preschooler, and I never went into it that I recall. But, is that the one you're talking about?
No, there was no, it's not.
Shut up, Roy.
There was a movie theater across the street from. I thought
people have no interest in this.
Well, you know what, Ross? Maybe they do, and you're thinking that they don't.
I don't. I'm a wreck, Roy.
Don't be so negative.
I'm going to keep people interested, so I got to plug in my computer.
Uh-oh.
There you go.
That's all I got. Hard drive.
That's all I got.
That's all you got. Anyway,
so interesting part of the night. Yeah.
So we made it, but
So when did you see it for the first time on your phone?
When it first came out in '89.
Oh, that's right, in the Eric. You said Sam Eric.
So did you like it?
I did, but I didn't think it hit the high watermark of Terminator or Aliens.
Yeah.
And Terminator 2 hadn't come out yet, but I had high hopes for The Abyss because all of the science fiction movies that they were coming out with in that era were all really good, that budget, and right. I knew Cameron did good work. I I liked it, but I didn't feel like, you know, it got there to where it needed to go. And I don't know where it needed to go exactly, because this time I watched for the first time, I watched the special edition, because everybody says, oh, you got to watch the special edition. You got to watch the special edition. So I said, okay, this time I'll watch the special edition. And I did. And I still think it doesn't really get there.
Yeah.
Because it's so good. It's so good. He's so good with the realistic stuff. You know, he's much better even than he was with Aliens, and with, he loves the tech and he loves the military stuff, and he really gets into it. But this was really realistic. It didn't have a lot of the sophomoric, sexist jokes and the bodily function jokes and all that other stuff that the Marines have to throw around.
Right.
This just really seemed like they were on a this oil rig or whatever it was in the middle of the ocean, and it was really well thought out and well directed, and then you get the close encounter stuff kind of and I just don't. It just didn't fit together for me. I like it, but and how do you feel about it?
No. You're. I get what you're talking about. I mean, there was a lot of buildup, and it was very realistic, it seemed, especially in the beginning and everything, with everything that was happening. And then we should also note too, before we go on, that not only did James Cameron direct this movie, but he wrote it. I mean, this was a concept that he came up with when he was like, a teenager. And he basically kind of put it to the side, and then it kind of, he worked on it later on, and it came back to him, and then he started just like expanding on it. So yeah, I mean, there was a lot to it, but I think it almost, I remember, I didn't remember, I hadn't seen the movie since like 1989. And I think for some reason, I think I did see the expanded version, because I think they re-released that a few years after that, right? And like, was it 93, I think?
Yeah, I didn't realize they put it out in theaters. I must have not gone, or
or it was released. And I should have researched that a little bit more.
But yeah, it was 92 or something. They put together the
special edition,
which I didn't realize was so soon after the original release. Time moved very slowly back then.
It sure did. Absolutely. I totally agree with you about that. But it wanted to get to it is very C3K-ish in that sense. Whoops, hang on one second. Just seeing more comments come in. Warren just said the special edition added a lot to the ending for sure, but was still limited by the special effects of the time, being able to do full portrayed by JC's vision. Yeah. And it's like what I remember, and I was just talking to Joe last night. For everybody, I was explaining Joe Metz, Ross's cousin. We were talking about this movie, and I asked Joe, I said, do you remember seeing it? And he did. And one of the things that he did remember was, and we'll get into it, it's the negative connotation, especially, the animal rights activists because of the film and everything, which, what, I'm surprised they actually did what they did. Fortunately, no animals were hurt, but it's the fact that they actually went and did that. And that kind of,
it doesn't surprise me, because it's James Cameron.
Yeah.
Because he does that with that kind of thing with his human actors too.
I was just going to say, I mean, Ed Harris does not have,
but it did bother me too. But
yeah, that bothered me, and I had forgotten about that one scene, and we'll come back and talk about that. But in regards to the film, I said to Joe, I said, I remember that the ending seemed like a letdown to me. Like I wanted more, and I don't know what exactly that more was, but I wanted more of what was not there. And
I didn't feel like
what you were saying.
Yeah, and I don't know if I didn't really feel like it was the effects that let me down. There was something. It was just too simplistic. And on the other hand, and there's going to be spoilers galore.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 38-year-old movie, so you know what? I think we're fine.
It's still, you can still spoil it if somebody didn't see it.
Fair enough.
Also, what I thought set it apart was the relationship between Ed Harris's Bud and Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio's
Lindsay.
They actually were characters. You know what I mean? They weren't just types. It wasn't like somebody shows up and they're the hero. You know, they have a few establishing shots or whatever. They were real characters and they had a real relationship. And in fact, Cameron based a lot of their interaction on his own relationship with his soon-to-be ex-wife, Gail Ann Hurd, who he got to produce the movie because they worked well together, creatively, even if the marriage didn't endure. But apparently, when he wrote her character, he had Gail in mind. But I found it because it builds. You don't realize until the end of the movie just how significant it is, though. And there's a theme that runs through the movie about how the relationship is really what's redemptive in the film. You know, Ed Harris with the wedding ring, which I thought, God, it's an egregious wedding ring. It's this huge wedding ring. So why is it so big? And then they have that scene with the door closing and he uses it to hold the door. It's like, now I know why the wedding ring is so big.
Right.
And he throws it in the toilet there that has the disinfectant that's blue.
Yeah.
So and then he changes his mind and reaches in to pull it out, and his hand is like, no matter how long he's at the bottom of the ocean, his hand's still blue the whole movie. And ultimately, you find out it's I don't want to spoil the movie, but it has a significance at the end of the movie, and it's got larger redemptive ramifications, and I thought that was cool. That was worked through the film, but all the other stuff with it was the day the earth stood still stuff. It's like you gotta not fight each other, or we're gonna destroy all of you.
No, you nailed it. That was like one of the first things that came to my mind was this is like Clay, with Clayto.
Klaatu.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. I butchered the name.
And then all the Close Encounters.
Close Encounters.
It would have had more teeth if Close Encounters hadn't come out before.
Yeah.
But I thought that the effects were better. And sorry, Cameron. I mean, the stuff that he did because he did everything for real almost in the movie. I mean, so that's why it looks so terrific. But I thought that the visual effects actually were more impressive than Close Encounters, which was earlier, a lot earlier. What is it, 12 years earlier?
12 years.
And it was more mysterious. Mm-hmm. Even though you had the stop motion guy get out of the mothership. I don't care. I mean, I thought it was more wondrous than what I saw. But that was just me. Maybe you don't feel that way.
I didn't have a problem with the special effects. I
didn't dislike them. I didn't dislike them, but it didn't really, and they tried too hard with Alan Silvestri's music, with the choir every time
Now with his music, and I know we'll talk about him a little later, but I thought it was James Horner.
I absolutely thought it was James Horner.
I was so surprised when I looked up and I thought it was Alan. I was like, really?
Yeah,
I would have bet. I mean, I really was like, that's got to be James Horner. I was pulling Star Trek out of it.
I totally thought it was James Horner, except there were no other composers getting ripped off. And I thought, wow, this is James Horner's most restrained score. I don't know. Where's Alexander Nevsky? But
that's funny.
It turned out it was Alan Silvestri. Yeah. There was a recurring thing where they used a prepared piano. I didn't see it written down anywhere. It could have been an electronic thing, but what that is they stick stuff in the strings of the piano. So when you hit the keys, it makes like a muted kind of like dun 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 sound. And he did it in Planet of the Apes. And as they're going down to the nuclear sub, and a couple other times in the movie they did that. And I thought, oh, Horner lifted this from Jerry Goldsmith. I don't, I mean, it's a common effect, but it sounded just like what Goldsmith did. And I thought that was kind of funny because, Horner was dating Jerry Goldsmith's daughter at some point. So there's some kind of little friction there between the two.
I think I remember you telling me about that.
Two composers. But it turned out it wasn't Horner, so it's a Shaggy Dog story. Doesn't go anywhere.
Some of the comments coming through. John said, never saw it in a theater, never cared for camera, and even less these days. Let's see. Martin said, better than Waterworld.
Better than Waterworld. There you go.
Don said, there is very little about this that doesn't feel current.
Yeah.
Just rewatched it today. The submersible battle near the end was a little long, but I think it holds up.
Yeah. But that he keeps going back to that guy. I mean, was it Avatar had something just like that. It felt like maybe two things. He loves that chase with the things, whipping around and banging into each other, and the aggressive military guy. And it's like, all right, we get it. Do something different.
Yeah, I thought that was a little bit stretched. Now I have to say, I thought Michael Biehn, because we knew him from Terminator, and he was playing the good guy. We knew him from Aliens, and that I love that movie. He was also playing the good guy. I thought he played a good psychotic in this film. I thought he was convincing.
I mean, I thought I thought there was a lot of good acting in this movie, actually.
Absolutely.
For the kind of movie it is. Except, I'll tell you, the one thing that took me out of the movie when I saw it in the theater, and the one thing that took me out of the movie when I watched it this week, is Chris Elliott.
Oh,
why is Chris Elliott in this movie? It's they have him in the framing device. He's on the ship, but it's.
I even said to Sherry, I was like, Chris Elliott, and I forgot he was in the film. And
I'm sorry, Chris. I think you can be a funny guy, but you're not a good dramatic actor.
I was just taken back by that.
And I guess I was like searching on the internet to find out how he got in this movie. Is he a friend of James Cameron or something like that? But he auditioned for the part of Hippie, the guy who had the rat on the shoulder. And they Todd Graff got that role, but Cameron liked his audition so much that he wanted to put him in the movie.
Okay.
And apparently he took a shine to him. He was like really mean to a lot of people in this, as he is in all of his movies. Apparently he's hard to work with. He's a perfectionist and he's a little rough, and he works you hard.
Well, and the conditions for this movie, I mean, that's under normal conditions that you're talking about. The conditions, I mean, where they had this special tank set up, and then they were underwater for many, many hours during the day. There was a situation where Ed Harris almost, I think, he almost ran out of oxygen, and I read somewhere that he may have even punched Cameron.
He did run out of oxygen. He punched James Cameron. All the action in Cameron's movies, it's not all on the screen. There's a lot going on.
There was a lot behind the scenes.
Yeah, because they filmed it in a nuclear reactor is what they did. They never completed it. It was an unused reactor, but they found this place in South Carolina. They said this would be perfect to use as our water tank. But whoever set it up, of course, they didn't know a lot about it. So there were cracks in the thing, and the pipes would burst, and they had to have the people who worked on dams come in and shore it up and fix it. And in the end, they said, "Oh, we probably should have just built it from scratch because we spent so much money." They're trying to save money, and then they went up spending so much. But yeah, and they had a tarp over the top of it, and it tore during a big storm. So instead, it'd take a while to get the thing fixed. So instead, they started shooting at night, and they shoot these long day, 10-hour days, and then they got longer. They get 17, 18-hour days, and then they would toward the end of the shoot, and they had to shoot at night. It was just and it was cold, and you couldn't see in the water. It was just like too much. And like Roy said, they would always be running out of oxygen, and then they'd signal somebody because they had somebody there in case something like that happened. But they would be either they would be tangled up themselves, or they wouldn't hear, or the guy next to him to Cameron in the one instance was deaf in one ear, and he didn't.
Yeah, the director of photography, I think it was.
So he didn't hear that he needed the oxygen.
It was crazy, and supposedly too, Ed Harris. I mean, he really didn't. I mean, he was, doing the tour junket, the press junket, going out and plugging the movie. But after all of this was all done, supposedly, he really didn't talk about the movie. It was a very unpleasant experience. Mary Elizabeth pretty much felt the same way, was very aggravated. There was, I guess, bouts where, just screaming. And I guess the one scene where they're trying to resuscitate her, they didn't have film in the camera at one point. And they messed up on that. So then what happened was when Ed Harris is trying to revive her, she wasn't even he wasn't even positioned over her at that point because she was just like, enough is enough. I mean,
can you imagine? They did it three times or two times. The first time the first time Ed was into it, but he was in front of the camera. They couldn't get her really well. So they did it again, and then they didn't have film in the camera. The film ran out. So she just stormed off set for hours. So yeah, for part of it, it was just Ed Harris acting, with the camera below him, and he's like smacking a sandbag or something.
Right.
To try to revive her.
It's funny. It reminds me of, again, I'm gonna digress. For the folks out there who know who John Delancey is, and he played Q in Star Trek: The Next Generation, and really good actor, and he's a staple in Star Trek lore now because of his appearance as Q in Star Trek: The Next Generation and Star Trek Picard. Anyway, Denise Crosby was supposed to be at a Star Trek convention, and this was up in Wilkes-Barre. This was probably like in '88. Actually, it was 89. It was the year this movie came out. And he was there, and people were asking him different questions, and he was talking about his career. He had actually done the pilot episode for the new, quote unquote, new Mission Impossible series that premiered in '88, was being shot in Australia. He was in the pilot episode, and he was playing the killer. In fact, if you're a fan of the original movie or the original television show, it was a rewrite. It was a script that was from the original series when they did Mission, and Robert Conrad had played that part, who we know from the Wild Wild West. And what it was is he was a killer, or a hitman that would think of things on the spot. So if he was going to go to a certain place, it was always by random, because he felt the whole thing was, if he didn't know what he was going to do, nobody else would know what he was going to do, because he just did everything off the top of his head. So anyway, there's a scene where he is going after the IMF agent, and John Delancey's telling the story. And what happens is she's got a gun on him, and then he throws something at her, and the gun drops, and then he gets her on the floor, and then he's supposedly like trying to, she's trying to get the gun, and he's like going like this and pounding, and he's telling the story, and he's saying she's not there. And what it is it's just him like pounding on these pillows, which what you were just saying, Ross, it reminded me of it. And if you go back and rewatch it, it's kind of funny, because she's out of the screen, the screen line. But it's very similar to that, and that was a totally long-winded story to tell you about something.
Now you got me thinking about like SCTV or the Three Stooges, where somebody grabs somebody and they turn into a dummy and they throw them out the window, and then when they hit the ground, they get up and they're all dazed.
Hey Sue, good to see you out there.
Right.
Digress. Roy never does that. Lots of laughs. Leslie saying loves his realism.
Yeah. Cameron loves his realism.
And one quick thing. Leslie said DiCaprio and Winslet can also tell a story or two about Cameron and his realism. Oh, I'm sure. Which one called Titanic?
It's like, that part of him is, well, I don't know. I was going to say it's brilliant. I mean, it really comes out well in the movies. Of course, the people that have to do it don't like it. Right. But then he's got this other side that's, I don't know.
So creative.
That I could do without. But I'm not going to, you can't bet against James Cameron. This is a guy who every time he makes a movie you think it's going to bomb, it becomes the highest grossing movie of all time.
There you go. Hey, I just want to say hi to James. James is joining us from Australia. Hey, James, thanks for being out there and saying hello to everyone. And sorry I'm late. Don't worry about it, James. We were about 10 minutes late getting on tonight too, so no worries. Leslie or Randy said, my son is considering submarine service in the U.S. Navy. Should I show him this movie?
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Show him Hunt for Red October.
Somebody actually mentioned that too.
Then he can join the Soviet Army.
Leslie said Chris Elliott has the best reaction to the ship coming up. Don said, I've never heard that Harris did not have a good experience with this film.
I've heard.
I've heard that Harris.
And he's a very interesting actor.
Oh my God, yeah, he's done so much, and he's so good.
And he's so good, yeah. And I have a feeling he's not always the easiest guy either to work with, but he's so good. He's so intense and so into it all the time. But so I said, you can't bet against James Cameron, because his movies always go on to become the highest grossing films of all time. However, this is the only one of his movies that he's done where it didn't open at number one for the weekend. So there was something about this movie that didn't draw people into the theaters. I don't know what else was out that weekend. I forgot to really research that part of it, but I love. I don't like submarine movies so much. When I was a kid, I felt very claustrophobic, but I do like. I was disappointed that Return of the Jedi was not set on a water world, on a water planet.
Oh, really?
Because Star Wars, you had the desert, and then Empire Strikes Back, you had the swamp, and you had the snow planet. And I said the only place they didn't go is a water planet. And I thought that it would be really cool to have them on these ships but it's notoriously difficult to film on the water, and probably even harder to film under the water because there's no oxygen. And you can't get good shots and everything else. So it's probably best. But instead of like repeating themselves in the third Star Wars movie and just doing everything they did in the first one, only again. Let's build a bigger Death Star. I know where we can go. Let's go to Tatooine.
let's just attempt to remake the whole movie all over.
Yeah, but we won't go down that cul-de-sac.
And then we'll do it like 30 years later.
Yeah. So I don't know what was opposite this. That's what I was saying. The submarine movies. I wasn't. Now I watch them. I don't feel as dismayed at having people trapped in a claustrophobic space, but it used to be like, oh my god.
Do you remember the movie Leviathan?
Yes, but I didn't see it.
Okay, I saw that in the theater, and that came out right around the same time as this movie, only it was more of a horror movie. I actually was going to suggest us doing that too at some point, but I probably like this movie more so than Leviathan. I don't know. I'll put that out there for the folks to see what they think about that. But that also came out in '89. There was also another movie called Deep Star 6. That was also like an underwater film that was at that time. But '89 for movies, I mean, that summer we had whatchamacallit, the Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade came out.
Yeah.
And Poets Society came out. Star Trek 5 came out. But anyway, there you go. Yeah. John said, "Yep, Deep Star 6." And don't forget Thunderball. Yes, in regards to underwater movies, that was 1965.
Well, this one kind of was this the one that reminded me of kind of like the Bond film when it started coming up out of the water, and you saw because the one Bond villain had The
Spy Who Loved Me. Yeah, absolutely.
Was that The Spy Who Loved Me?
Yeah, Strasberg.
Was that the one?
Stromberg was the villain in that movie. Because when it's the Atlantis, it arrived.
Oh yeah, Spy Who Loved Me, exactly. Yeah, I was thinking of another movie when you mentioned that. They all have the crazy Bond titles, but yeah, right.
Yep, Naboo was a water planet.
Yeah, well, they started doing water planets when they did the prequel, and then they were doing all the CG stuff. Because they did it with the Boba Fett thing too. There was something going on with water or rain, or I can't remember. I only saw those movies once, and I'll never see them again.
Yeah, Warren was saying there were the 2 underwater movies in 1990 that preceded this. So by the time it came out, it felt like
was that around the time of Crimson Tide or something? Or it doesn't matter. There were a lot. I saw Great Lady Down in the movies. I remember it was either right before or right after Superman was made. I think it was right before, but Christopher Reeve was in it, but it was before he was famous. And Charlton Heston. And it's like, and of course, they get trapped at the bottom of the ocean. And it's like,
of course. James was commenting, Ed Harris' intensity works for The Abyss despite the problems on set. The tension and claustrophobia adds to its dynamic quality. Director's edition is more refined. Yeah, that's what we were talking about, James, about the director's cut. In fact, Sue was commenting a little bit back about that too. She was saying, and I didn't get her comment up on the screen. Where is it? This is why. This is like if you're doing theater and you miss a line and then you try to go back to salvage. It's not recommended. As I attempt to go back and back.
Sorry.
Back.
Because I know sometimes you'll just throw up a comment or whatever in the middle of something we're talking about, and sometimes they'll just talk over it,
That's
and then
all
it
good.
gets lost. Yeah.
Sue said, yeah, the special edition added 31 minutes, and honestly, the extra minutes made it a totally different. And
Now tell me, what did they add? I mean, they expanded the bit at the end a little bit, and they and I think she talked more as he was going down into the abyss, if I'm not mistaken. But what else did they add? I have to go back and watch the original one again because it was pretty much as I remembered it.
Yeah. See, and I watched the original. I didn't watch the extended version.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
So
probably will go back, and I did see the extended version years ago. But to your point, I thought it was just the ending.
Yeah,
that really
do a mind meld. Well, the other thing I think that hurts it is yes, it was a remake. The other thing I think that hurts it is there are two or three strong scenes with the humans. They added more boredom. Now with extra boredom, yeah, they had two or three scenes between the characters that were great scenes, and then they throw the special effect thing in, and I think it kind of weakened it because it's hard to really top the thing where they only have the one diving helmet and they got to get back to the ship and they've got to revive her, and then you have the whole intense thing with trying to get to Michael Bihn's character,
right?
And he's got the warhead on the sub. I mean, there's just all this stuff going on, like 3 climaxes, and then you got to deal with the extraterrestrial or whatever it is, element, and it's just like, really, do we even need it at that point?
Yeah, it was a bit much.
But I understand that was the whole point of the movie.
Right. Sue said, no, I think the extra 31 minutes includes added minutes throughout as well as the ending, but not 100% sure. Yeah. And Jeff said, wasn't the submarine scene at the beginning part of the extra footage?
Was it? Yeah, because I remember reading that they cut out, he cut out whole subplots. So it's possible that but then why would you even have the warhead if they got rid of the submarine? I don't know.
Well, yeah, they definitely, they definitely needed that because that was like the what was it? That was the third
MacGuffin.
Yeah, third phase he was talking about.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sue. Sue says I love the blue ocean mood lighting.
Okay, there she picked up on it, and it goes with the background. Yeah, if you're the frame. Yeah.
Also had the tidal. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, the tidal wave scene, which I
feel
like
there was a lot of symbolism. I mean, in regards to this too, it's almost like mankind is on a destructive path, and it's really brought out. The one line that Lindsay even says, it's when she's talking about to Virgil, Ed Harris's character, she's saying to him, she's trying to convince him of what she saw, and that it was like really it affected her. It was a moment that she really took in, and she was trying to express to him, but he even looked at her and he was being honest. He wasn't trying to be a jerk about it. He just said, I can't accept it. I just, his reality was in a different place, and he couldn't almost like take that leap of faith, so to speak, that it was something non-corporeal. It was not human. It was something, extraterrestrial, whatever you want to call it. And questioning Michael Bihn's character, Coffee, and she said, he has a vision. He sees what he wants to see in that sense, that it's going to be like the enemy, where she's more open to that. It's something, benevolent, and it's how we as humans perceive things. So it was like a message with that. It's like, are you negative or are you positive? I mean,
right.
Things. And he's kind of like on the borderline, but it's not like his rationale just could not accept that it was something that was from out there.
Right. Well, he's a hawk, he's military, and he's trained. Like he says at one point, he said, I've got my orders, kind of thing. Right. He's not going to really think for himself. He's going to follow command. And besides, he's suffering from the HPNS or whatever, of the effects of being down there in that environment.
Well, and she's given the whole list about, saying that, people that, are, because, he's saying that he was, all of his group was tested. And then she's pretty much, she's the scientist. She knows what can happen. And he's just trying to like dismiss it. And then after she leaves, his hand starts quaking. And then, it's right then and there. It's like, Chekhov's gun. It's the foreshadowing of,
exactly. Well, I got, first of all, I want to say I got to keep Chekhov's gun in mind, but because I got something else to say about that. But I want to say that Michael Biehn, James Cameron, is a rough director, but you got to hand it to a guy who allows the cast input. That everybody on that movie really contributed to their characters. And Michael Biehn, it was his idea to have him suffer from this HPNS, and he wrote it into the script. It was not in the original script, so it made the character a lot more interesting, I thought.
Yeah.
It gave him a lot of business to do.
Yeah.
And the same thing with Ed Harris and Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio, that they also got to contribute a lot of to it, because the script wasn't, he was writing it the whole time. With Chris Elliott, he was writing the stuff and handed it to him the morning that they would film, But as far as Chekhov's gun, I for the first time I saw it, I loved, when I was in school, they used to call us the hammer. And you knew the hammer was going to come back into it. They just lay that out right at the beginning of the movie, and you're waiting for the hammer. It's like Chekhov's hammer.
Oh, well said. Bill said, was Snake Plissken writing the title? Oh, that would have been good. Where's Kurt Russell when you need him? Yeah. Leslie said the aliens are very cautious when it comes to us. We have to remember that we live at their whim. Yeah. Very, very well said. Jeff said, at least the aliens let us decide for ourselves whether to blow ourselves up. Not like Keanu Reeves and Day the Earth Stood Still, where it's not your planet, humans.
Yeah,
I was not a fan of that movie for what it's
worth. I didn't even try
it. Sherry and I saw that years ago, and it was just awful. It was a bad call. Ripley. It was a bad call.
You don't remake The Day the Earth Stood Still.
You don't.
The other movie this kind of reminded me of, in some respects, because they both kind of remind me of Close Encounters, was Arrival. And I know you're not a big fan of Arrival, but that movie kind of had some of the same themes as this one.
Arrival, wasn't that with what's her name?
Amy Adams.
Yes. No, I'm not a fan of that movie.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, I like the fact that I said something about, I threw it out casually earlier, and I don't want anybody to think that I think that James Cameron is necessarily sexist. I'm just saying the dialogue sometimes when when they're throwing stuff back and forth. I love the introduction of Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio's character in this. Not when they're calling her a bitch, but when they get off the chopper, get off the helicopter, and you see all the boots on the ground. Boots, 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 and then you see the heels. I thought that was great. And
that was funny.
Yeah, and their relationship, it wasn't just like a taming of the shrew kind of thing.
No.
Or a lot of times in the movies they do it's like, oh, they hate each other, oh, they love each other kind of thing. And you don't really, it's just like by the numbers. It's a cliche. But in this, there's all kinds of stuff about gender, sex, love, commitment, as I said earlier. Mm-hmm. And it plays into the whole redemption at the end of the movie. I thought it was really cool that he wrote that through the whole film with the characters, because you really didn't see that coming, because you didn't really know what was coming at the end of the movie.
No, I thought their relationship was very realistic. I really bought into it. It was, I mean, and it was funny too, because they all knew her. They all worked together. It wasn't like they were strangers.
It was her company,
rig.
Wasn't it?
Yeah,
her rig. Yeah.
And there was a lot of animosity because of what happened and how she lost being on there. Randy said maybe merge Life Force in the Abyss. Oh, Life Force. You mean the movie starring Patrick Stewart?
I think it's a good idea, actually.
Oh my god!
Somebody should do that.
Did I ever tell you? No, never. I'm not gonna do that
Except everybody's complaining about how cold it is all the time. I don't think they're going to go Life Force. Yeah.
Don said I kept wondering why the one character name was One Night.
Because her last name was Standing.
One Night Standing.
Yeah,
she was good, and I forgot, but I kept. Spoiler alert! If you folks, I'm just going to put it out there. By now, everybody that's here knows we talk the movie. So for whatever reason, if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want us to talk, you don't want to hear about things we're going to give away, tune out. I'm saying this to appease Ross because Ross gets really all fidgety and he gets worried. So
yeah.
Anyway,
so who said that about seeing a movie in the 21st century? Is that Leslie? Was she yanking my chain, or did somebody else do it?
No, that was Leslie. But I was
she's my bête noire. Yeah, see that.
But what I was gonna say is that I really the funny thing is Ross. Well, never mind. I was thinking that she was gonna bite the dust for whatever reason. I kept saying to Sherry, I think she's gonna bite. I think she's gone. Are you
talking about One Night?
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, somebody's introduced somebody in a sub, and she's all loosey goosey, listening to a country western, and with her bags of Doritos smashed.
I thought she was a goner. I thought she was a goner.
Yeah, you thought that she would be the one to go, but she,
I was glad she didn't, but I'm
glad she wasn't either. But
I thought she was. I thought they were like,
absolutely. I felt the same way.
They sucked us into the abyss, Ross. James said the sexism adds a more realistic touch instead of playing it safe. Yeah, good point.
Well, yeah. I guess in a certain kind of, circle, I don't really encounter. I guess if you're going to throw people with a bunch of grunts or whatever, maybe they're going to talk like that, But I don't know anybody that does that anymore. That's like so. That's so Aliens.
Which was 3 years before this movie.
Yeah.
What was it? Vasquez, remember her and
right, exactly.
Jeanette Goldstein.
Yeah.
She was great. I loved her character. I love that movie. I mean, I love Alien, the first movie, and we've talked about it. Yeah. Alien, unfortunately, is one of our lost episodes, so we'll have to go back and discuss it. But Aliens has always been a favorite, and that came out in July 9th. I think I saw that July 19th, the day before my 20th birthday in '86.
Wow,
that's a long time ago. A long time. Oh my God, Ross, that's going to be 40 years.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of scary that 40. I remember when Star Wars.
Now I'm taking the seat back, Ross.
We're gonna show up and start doing the show on rockers. Special rocker edition.
40 years. What the heck?
And then put my teeth in a glass.
Oh shoot! Oh my God! How did that? What?
I know. I hear you.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. Leslie said, "Oh, come on, you can't kill." No, I'm not saying that they should. Cameron wouldn't even do that. No, but it's just that game over, man. Game over. Yeah. Exactly, Jack. Yeah. Oh my God.
So the other thing they had to deal with that we didn't mention was the decompression. The tank was so tank was so deep that they couldn't just go up to the surface and call it a day. They actually had to go up and sit there for like an hour before they could go to the surface and get out of the tank.
Right.
That's
now here's another thing I want to bring up. We haven't gone there yet with the rats.
Yeah.
Breathing liquid. Now, did you ever watch the television series UFO?
I know you've talked about it before. I'm sure I've seen it, not regularly. I'm sure I've seen an episode or two, but yeah, I don't recall anybody breathing the liquid.
The aliens would breathe the liquid in that movie, in that
Okay.
television series, and UFO was the predecessor to Space 1999. But
Okay.
it was a green liquid, and that's how they were able to travel. So that was the first time I had ever seen something like that. So now fast forward 18, yeah, it's a great series, Don. I agree.
Well, if he had written the story that this was based on and inspired by something he had seen in high school, somebody came and talked that had done this, had experimented with this, maybe not taken the. Did he taken the liquid? Because they said that the people weren't really doing this. That this
No,
was
they
like something they
weren't.
did on animals.
It was just on animals at that point, and they actually did have
Animals.
the doctor on site, but they actually did do that with the rat. Though I was so surprised that they did that.
But if he wrote this in the 80s and he was in high school before, I mean, it had to be
50s,
60s, 60s,
yeah,
60s, 70s. So this the idea and the fact that they could do this, they could do this in the 60s or early 70s already.
Yeah, because Cameron, believe it or not, Ross, you ready? You ready for this? He's only 11. He's only 11 years older than us.
Yeah,
Actually, I'm sorry, 12. He's 12 years older than us.
That's pretty old.
He was born in 54. So, and August 16th of 54. So, yeah, he's, yeah. But so to your point, if he was in high school, it would have been what, 1970, 71, 72, somewhere around there.
So they were already experimenting with this at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, and the setting of the movie, and I don't remember this from having seen it in the theater, but maybe it just rolled off of me because it was kind of contemporary at that time. But looking back, looking at the special edition now, it was, right before the fall of the Berlin Wall and everything.
Yeah.
But that dates it though, because it's supposed to be set a few years in the future, isn't it? It's supposed to be set like in the early 90s or something. And by then, the Soviet Union was no more. Right? When did that fall? It was like 90, wasn't it?
I
thought walking down 89, 90.
It was around. I thought it was like 89.
Yeah. So it kind of, I guess, it's science fiction. But I guess there were still Russians though, even if they weren't Soviets.
Yeah, because the Berlin Wall fell It was November of 1989. It was November 9th of 1989.
Yeah, because they had it was a Christmas. I remember Bernstein conducted that big multinational Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, in celebration of the wall coming down. Yeah.
Wow. That was 37 years ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I remember when that news came through. So.
It was a big deal.
Yeah.
The other thing I found interesting was that Catfish, with the hammer. Yeah. He had the tattoo with the Marine tattoo. You remember?
Yes, I do.
And it looks like something just somebody did by themselves, and it also made me realize though, this was before the whole tattoo craze, where now everybody's got a tattoo. I mean, you want to see mine? No, but everybody's got one now. It's mainstream. And back then, it's like, yeah, you were a sailor, you got drunk, and somebody tattooed you, or you're a biker, or But now, you would never see a tattoo like the one that he had. That would have been a much more professional job. But I thought that just lent to the realism, and it also makes it kind of a social time capsule. That's what tattoos were back then.
No, and it's true. That's usually when you would hear about people having them. I remember, my uncle, and he was in the Navy. He had he has these like really cool tattoos on his arms.
Yeah, make the mermaid dance. Yeah.
Now the movie was supposed to take place in January of 1994. So you are correct to your point about that. As far as the setting, so the film was filmed in 88, was released in 89, but it was supposedly taking place in 94. So that's 5 years ahead of time. Some of the comments coming through. Hey, Linda's out there. She's saying, "Oh, it's Friday. Hey guys, I haven't seen this movie in many, many years, but I remember enjoying it very much when I saw it in the theater. Great to see you out there, Linda. Thanks for sharing. And Linda is joining us from Canada.
Yay.
We have another Canadian amongst us. Welcome. And Don said, but takes place in the distant future of 1980. Yeah, actually it was 94. Yep. And then Jeff said there's a shot of the video monitor that shows that it's January 4th of 94. Yep. You're right, Jeff. Bill said the Soviet Union was formally dissolved as a sovereign state and subject of international law on the 26th of December of 91 by Declaration number 142-N of the Soviet of the Republics of the Supreme Soviet of the Soviet Union. Thank you for sharing that, Bill. And Leslie said, face it, guys, we're old, and I have 15 tattoos. Thank you very much.
Man. I would have lost track. Yeah.
So there you go.
15. Like Lydia the Tattooed Lady. Remember that song?
No, I don't.
Oh, Lydia, that encyclopedia. Oh, Lydia the Tattooed Lady. She had eyes that men adore so, and a torso even more so. You don't remember that song?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's an old song.
No, I'm sure some of our listeners do that.
Groucho sings it at the circus.
Ah, there
and
we go.
They also do it in Philadelphia Story. Somebody sings it.
There you go. I'm going to bring up on the screen just to remind some of the folks of. Here's some pictures. So there we've got Ed Harris's Bud or Virgil, and then Mary Elizabeth.
It's nice that they let him wear his Right Stuff costume.
Yeah, right. Michael Biehn.
He played John Glenn in The Right Stuff.
Yeah. Michael Biehn with the mustache, which he just looked mean in this movie. He did, like I said, his character. I thought he had a really good character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did a good job. But they all three of them did a good job with it. She was really good.
She was very, very good. Leo Burmester as Catfish.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had Tom Graff as
Hippie.
He
was the conspiracy theorist.
Yeah. And then you had John Bedford Lloyd as Jammer.
Mm.
And then J.C. Quinn is Sonny.
Mm.
And then Kimberly Scott is Lisa One Night Standing. Captain Kid Brewer as
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you can see all her cassettes too. That's what I like. You know, she has a little boom box with the country western she plays, and she's.
Well, I was cracking because when Michael Biehn commandeers the sub, and then he's getting tossed around.
Yeah.
The music starts playing, so he smashes the player.
Right.
All like aggravated and everything.
But it totally follows the alien precedent of where everything on the spaceship is push button and everything. If you're on an oil rig, what are you going to have to listen to the music? You're going to have cassettes. That's what people had back then anyway. I guess they had CDs at that point, but you're going to be listening to those at the bottom of the ocean. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, speaking of which, Warren just said, this is why I tune in. Ross singing made my 2026 so far. Randy said that Lydia song was prominent on Breaking Bad.
Oh, really? Okay.
There you go. May said they also did Lydia on the Muppet Show.
When her muscles start relaxing, up the hill comes Andrew Jackson. Yeah, it's all the tattoos, that they describe in the song. Yeah.
Leslie said usually when Michael Biehn has a mustache, he's a bad guy. Tombstone. I kind of feel bad for him because he actually, he was doing a lot of films in the 80s, and he even commented during like an interview saying that, a lot of people would say he was like this mega star in the 80s. And he says, I really wasn't. He said the mega stars were like people like Tom Cruise and Bruce Willis that were doing all the work and getting, the millions of, dollars for their movie appearances. And he said he never was, never made like $1 million for a movie. And then he went through a bad time where I guess, roles weren't coming his way. And then I guess he had an addiction problem. And then I also read that he had a stroke as well as open heart surgery. So it's like he had his share of things that happened to him. But he was supposed to be at a and I'll never forget this. He was supposed to be at a creation convention in Manhattan, and it was going to be in 1987, I think it was. In fact, Martin Landau was supposed to be at the same event. Martin Landau canceled, and I was very upset because it would have been at the Penta, and that was only like 10 years after 1999 went off. But Michael Biehn didn't show because supposedly he had been in I think it was like a motorcycle accident with his girlfriend at the time, and they weren't able to be there. That would have been my chance to have met him, but again, this was like many years ago. Leslie saying, met Michael at Schiller, very nice guy. Yeah, there you go. Randy said everyone should have a handle, Ross Boss. There you go.
Yeah. One night stand.
One man standing.
One man standing. I won't tell you which one. So anyway, I cut you off there. You had 3 more actors to go through on that slide.
Okay.
Yeah, we only got through Kimberly Scott, I think.
Yeah. Let's see.
Or maybe the first one. I don't remember.
Yeah, I said Captain Brewer Jr. And that's Lou Findler. And then it's the second to the right is George Robert Kleck, and he's as one of the U.S. Navy SEALs, Twilight. And then Chris Murphy is the other Navy SEAL.
Okay.
And then you have Adam Nelson as Ensign Monk, another SEAL. And then Chris Elliott as Bendix.
Yeah. They for the special edition, they should have blotted him out. Chris Elliott. Sorry, Chris.
No, and that's just it. I mean, if you're used to him, that's where typecasting comes in, though, right? Because you're used to him as a comedian, and then that's the danger of all that, right?
I wonder if I'd feel differently if I didn't know who he was, but I don't think so.
Please don't call me that, Leslie.
Roy Boy.
You want to see me turn into the Incredible Hulk, you'll call me that.
Those are the names we use when we go to the leather bar.
You mean the one right down the road?
Yeah, you should go down and tell him that, Roy. Roy Boy. Go in your chaps.
I'll just go in there with my tie-dye sweatshirt.
Oh, boy.
No, Roy Boy.
Roy Boy.
Get it right.
Get up in the bar and do tequila.
Get it right, Ross Boss.
Ross Boss.
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
Talk about digression.
Too bad William Friedkin didn't live to see this.
Yeah, right.
But
and I have some other movie moments that I can share too.
You must have the water tentacle, I imagine. There it is.
There it is.
Yeah. And this was a big deal. This is a landmark special effect. And this was an exciting time. Every time you went to see a movie in the 80s, they were pushing the envelope. And little did I realize that one day I would be annoyed.
Right. And here's the thing.
I was always excited when I saw this stuff. Yeah.
It was cool because it wasn't oversaturation, but unfortunately they took it to the next level and they just kept on going past that level. And that's where it got out of control, unfortunately.
Yeah. But this was a totally experimental. They didn't know if the shot would work. And in fact, oh yes, of course. I remember Elliot on David Chris Elliott on David Letterman. That's what I knew him from. Yeah. This is one of the first shots the first scenes that they did because they didn't know that the effect that they could pull it off, and they figured, well, we could. The sooner we get it out of the way, the more time we'll have to work on the effect. And if it doesn't work, we'll make sure there's no real content in the scene, and we'll be able to just throw the scene out. But fortunately, they were pleasantly surprised by how well the effect came out. So, and of course, and he built on it with Terminator 2 then.
Well, that's what Don was just saying. Morphing effect later used for Terminator 2. Exactly,
right,
Don.
Right.
Yeah, and he took it to the next level, which worked extremely well in that.
Yeah.
There you go. There's another shot of it.
Yeah. And her reaction shots, she was very good.
She
She
was.
was good. She was very good. And then I started thinking about her, saying, what else did she do? And she was making a lot of stuff back then. I remember she was in the Robin Hood movie, and
She did Scarface. That was an
yeah, she had a
83.
part in Scarface. She was Pacino's sister, I think.
Now, did she play Marion in Robin Hood?
Yeah, that was a terrible movie, though.
I remember when that movie was out.
Yeah.
The only thing I liked about that movie was the soundtrack, or the title song for that movie. Everything I do, I do it for you.
The only thing I liked about that movie was the surprise cameo at the end.
Oh yeah.
They said, "Oh, I wish the whole movie had been like this."
Yeah.
Oh, and Alan Rickman, of course, was fantastic because he was just like he was like Basil Rathbone on Angel Dust.
Was he the sheriff of Nottingham?
Yeah. So he had fun with it, but the rest of the movie is. But then I went back. I still hate the movie, but I went back and now the film score I actually like. And it's like crazy. Like, how did I like the Robin Hood Prince of Thieves film score when I hated it when I heard it? In the theater. That's because things are so bad now that it's just it's like even the ones that were weak then are great.
Now, she was nominated for an Academy Award for The Color of Money.
Yes, the Martin Scorsese. I saw that in the theater. Yeah, Tom Cruise was in that too, and Paul Newman.
Yeah.
And she was great in this. Yeah.
She also what else? I think she got a Tony nomination as well too.
Oh yeah. She was in a revival of what was it? I know she was in a revival of West Side Story, but the one she got the Tony nomination.
Was it it was a Man of La Mancha.
Man of La Mancha, right? So she must have been Dulcinea, or the woman that he idealizes as Dulcinea. Yeah,
that was in 2003, and then she was also in a movie with back in 2000 William Dafoe and Mickey Rourke. There's a name from the past, right?
Yeah.
White Sands.
I just saw he was having some financial problems there.
Yeah, losing his house, and somebody was scamming. It was a big scam, they said online. But she was only 30 years old when she did this movie. Like,
really? Yeah.
Younger than Ryan.
I guess that makes
it makes sense.
But you don't really think about it. Yeah.
Ed Harris was 38 when he was in this movie. You can believe that. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's a really good actor. I saw Amy Madigan, his wife. Amy Madigan got nominated for an Oscar this year.
Oh wow!
She's in the running for was it Weapons? For Weapons, I guess.
Ross, it's really sad. I think Mission Impossible was the only movie that Cherry and I saw. I don't know what's out. I don't know who. I mean, unless some of these actors that that we're talking about. I mean, Ed Harris is 75 years old now. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah.
I just don't really. I don't follow the mainstream films. I'm not knocking anybody. It's just that I'm just I'm not there, and it's kind of sad too because it used to be so much fun to go to the movies and look forward to going to the movies, and it's just I agree. And around the awards time, I try to catch a lot of the movies that are in the running anyway to see what's out there. Ed Harris was in Westworld too. In fact, Jimmy Simpson, who was on our show, it'll be 6 years in the summer. He plays the younger version of Ed Harris's character on that.
Oh, spoiler alert! I don't think you find out until the second or third season.
Ross is going to start twitching. Anyway, so there you go.
Maybe seconds. I don't remember how much I watched it for a while, and then I backed off of it. But he was very good in it. Of course, he played the heavy Ed Harris.
Yeah, I agree, John. Every year,
what do you say? Every year I know less.
Every year I know less and less about the films on the Oscar.
What's the deal? What's the deal with? I don't really want to know because I don't want to have it spoiled if it's any good. But with the what the hell's even the name of it? Sinners. It's the most nominated film of all time now. More nominations than Ben-Hur. More nominations than All About Eve. It's a vampire movie. Like how good can it be?
Should go see it.
Yeah, I don't know. If it's good, I don't mind going. But if I go and it's bad, it's going to be bad.
No, when was it released?
This year, I don't know.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, it's nominated for Best Picture
Oh, I didn't realize that.
and a bunch of other stuff, like 16 categories or something.
Yeah. Okay. It was nominated for
How many nominations?
16 Academy Award
How do you
nominations.
nominate? Ben-Hur was 11.
Wow.
And this movie is not going to be as good as Ben-Hur.
Wow.
I don't care. I don't care how many vampires are in it.
Stars Michael B. Jordan too. Okay. Period. It's a horror thriller set in the 1930s. Well, at least the time frame is good.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It makes me despair for the state of, Sinners.
Yeah, Leslie said Sinners is awesome. Just check it out. It's so much more than a vampire movie.
Yeah, okay. Is it 16 nominations awesome though?
Oh, it's 16 nominations. I don't know if it
yeah, that's true. Yeah, Saturday Night Live. Yeah, you never recognize the host of the musical guests anymore. Yeah.
And Leslie said, Ross, you don't like any of the composers nominated this year?
Well, what's his name? Desplat got nominated for Frankenstein. That's probably the only traditional score that got nominated, because the rest are, the boneheads that are writing music now, like music. Couldn't write a fugue to save their lives, but they can write music.
Bill just said, time is the great filter of music and apparently movies. You don't remember all the garbage, just the good stuff. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, that happens with everything. Yeah.
But
a lot of good stuff gets forgotten too, which is sad. Yeah.
Sure.
But anyway, I hope Sinners is good. I can't get enthusiastic about seeing it, but I should.
Yeah. Jack said there might be a chariot race.
Well, there's a chariot race in Sinners. I'm going. Vampires and chariots. I'm there.
There you go. That's like macaroni and cheese.
You should have made Ben-Hur as a vampire movie.
Oh my goodness, too funny. So anyway, I just want to give, before we start to go into the other stuff, want to give Starlog magazine a nod. Back in the day, Ross, 1989, we used to read Starlog, and this is issue 105, and look who's on the cover. I forgot to say, when we were talking about movies released in 89, Batman, that came out, it was June 23rd of 89. When that was
another one of my most hated movies. We got to do a show where is this my most hated movies, right? Oh wait, we do that every week.
You were not a Batman fan, eh?
I was a Batman fan. That was the problem.
Oh, there you go. Batman, the television series?
I like the television series too. I like the comics.
Yeah. Okay.
I like the character.
You just didn't like Jack.
I didn't like the movie. Yeah.
And License to Kill, one of my favorite James Bond films. I thought Timothy Dalton got a bad rap because that was the last one he did, and there was actually a 6-year hiatus for James Bond. We would not see James Bond until 1995, and that was with Pierce Brosnan reprising the character. I really like that movie. But anyway, that's on the cover of the Starlog, and then of course The Abyss. Can James Cameron top Aliens? Is in the on the cover there. So anyway, just wanted to give a shout out. Leslie saying, catch you guys next time. Ross, if you want, we can discuss this more later.
Sure. What are we discussing?
See you, Leslie. Thanks for joining us.
See ya. We're going to talk about her 15 tattoos.
Although she said 20.
20 tattoos. And Orca. And my peach pie.
No, there you go. Yeah, that's right. She owes you a peach pie.
I don't know why she owes me a peach pie, but she does.
Or was it apple pie? Was it peach or apple?
No, it's peach.
Okay. All right. Just want to get clarity on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're out of season.
Bill said, where do you get those wonderful toys? Which ones? Which ones are you referring to, Bill? I mean, maybe he's talking.
Is that a Batman reference or something? I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
I mean, you could be referencing your CDs behind you.
No, I doubt it.
The wall of
Nobody cares about these things.
the wall of music.
Wall of music.
Oh boy.
You should see my desk. I gotta shelf that stuff.
It's endless.
What's that?
It's endless.
Yeah. That's all from my shows of the last few weeks. I never reshelved it. It just keeps piling up here. I've got Christmas stuff on my desk still.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, this is in the weeds, but I have to produce these shows and send them out, and
holy frack.
And I got distracted. I don't know. Oh yeah, so I have to produce these shows and send them out. So the worst thing in the world is when I do a show that's too long. I've got the thing written, I record, I got too much music, but I can't take anything out. So I have to start surgically chopping down the text. Like, what else can I take out? What else can I take out? And there's only so much you can take out, and then you start taking. It's like, how much space can I take out around the music and the talk? And it took me like 4 hours to do an hour show today. It was murder. Yeah.
Editing is fun, isn't it?
It's fun when it works.
I'm working on a project, and I'm hoping to unveil it on Monday. But anyway, we'll see how that goes. That's if we even have power. But I've been doing a lot of editing the last over the week, the last course of the week, and it's been fun. But we'll see. So stay tuned, folks. There will be more information about that. Anyway, a couple things. We've been talking about the director, and that's James Cameron, so we really don't have to reiterate everything in regards to that. But and I lost my I lost it, Ross.
Did you ultimately mention? Well, you're looking for something, so you know where you're going with this. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there he is.
Go ahead. What were you going to ask?
See it, James. The oxygenated fluorocarbon fluid with the rat. Did we talk about it or not? We keep saying we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, we brushed about it. Go ahead, and I'll let you, since you brought it up. You brought it back up. Go ahead.
Well, there's a scene where they're demonstrating that you can use this fluid to breathe underwater at a great depth, and you wouldn't have your lungs collapse. Right. It's more effort to breathe, but you can use this to breathe. So to show how this works, they take the guy's pet rat and stick it in the fluid. But the trouble was, it wasn't a special effect. They really took a rat and put it in this fluid, and of course the rat is distressed and struggling, and he says, "Oh, this is normal. This is normal." And the guy's like, "He's drowning. He's drowning." But the rat's not acting,
right.
And it does work ultimately.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a kind of a mean thing to do, to take something that doesn't know what's going on and put him in there and do that to him. And apparently they did it with five different rats, because it wasn't just one rat playing the part. It's like when you get a little baby to play a part in a movie, and so they always get twins or whatever to be in the part. Yeah, sounds like Willard. So they did it with 5 rats. Apparently one of them suffered a heart attack, but fortunately James Cameron was there to revive the rat, and he kept it as a pet then. So, but still,
yeah, because he was very concerned about getting bad publicity and everything, which happened anyway.
Well, he's always going to get bad publicity, but you shouldn't be. They should have taken one of. Well, he did take the actors and do stuff like that to them. So,
oh my God!
The actors know what they sign up for when they sign that contract. It's not like a rat,
right? Like, yeah, no.
But anyway,
I'm not a fan of rats, but I'm they were almost like domesticated, and whether they were domesticated or not, it's just the fact that they actually did that with a live animal. It's just like, how could you do that? But they did it.
I had to sit a friend's rats once. She had 2 pet rats. They were Norwegian hooded rats, which just means they're they have color. They're white and they have black or brown, and they were the sweetest animals.
Yeah.
But you have to clean the aquarium every day, and so I put on a sweatshirt. You wouldn't like this if you're not into rats, though. I put on a sweatshirt and I do, and as I'm cleaning it, they're running up my sleeves and around my back and stuff. And they go to the bathroom constantly, because they're rodents.
Yeah.
but they're sweet. They're
Yeah.
very loving when they're not eating your face. No, they didn't eat my face.
So they weren't like the rats that were in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
No, they weren't. They were or Sword and the Sorcerer.
Or Sword and the Sorcerer. Ruby said, unlike Ridley Scott in the first Alien movie, the actors complained they couldn't breathe. Yeah. Ratman. And
the helmets were really cool in this.
Yes,
he made sure that he had the clear glass so you could see the actors' faces, and they actually had their voices on the soundtrack. That wasn't dubbed in post. In fact, it was so clean that he felt like he had to go back and put sound effects in there to kind of make it sounded unnatural that they were so
clean,
so present. Yeah. So he had to put mechanical sounds in there, and kind of to dirty it up a little.
Linda just said, distressing the rat. Okay, I don't like the movie anymore. No, it's
yeah,
it is disturbing. I agree with you, Linda.
I also didn't
now. I mean, you know what I mean. It's like we really evolved, with that stuff, So it's like to hear again. This is almost. It's crazy to think that this is almost like a 40-year-old movie, but still.
Right. But by that time, they weren't doing stuff like that with animals.
Yeah.
There were no more tripwires and things. Yeah.
Shari just commented, I had two albino rats, Socrates and Algernon. They would sit with me and watch TV. They were great pets. They would follow me around like a dog.
That's sweet.
Telling me about that. So yeah.
Flowers for Algernon. Yeah.
And Ruby said the original Andromeda strain is harsh on animals too. Yeah.
What they do, they drug animals. I don't remember dead, like in Close Encounters where they give them the whatever they give them.
They knock them out, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I saw Andromeda strain. I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, we talked about that movie too. She said, what happened to the animal humane people? Yeah.
Yeah. I guess they didn't get the seal of approval.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and Bill even said no animals were harmed during the production back then. Yeah. So
sometimes they did it, In fact, that was more the rule than the exception. I'm surprised that he got away with that. Well, anyway, they weren't harmed, but it's stressful.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wouldn't want to have somebody come and just grab me and throw me in a tank of fluid and I don't know what's going on. Relax.
Well, I think Mary Elizabeth at one point, she even yelled out. I think one of the things that they said was that she even said, we're not animals. She was really upset about the way he was treating. Warren said the helmets were basically designed for the movie, and because he did use the actual onset audio of the actors, the regulator breathing had to be taken out of the audio track as it was distracting to the viewer. I did like where they did the perception where you're like looking through the helmet and you know what I mean? You were seeing what they potentially were seeing through the visor. Ruby said they probably did the scene without supervisor on the set. Yeah. And Randy said James Cameron originally wanted dolphins to play the aliens. Okay, not really. Okay.
That would be George C. Scott. Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
In regards to the music, Ross, we touched upon this a little. I said earlier, I really thought this was James Cameron. James Cameron, excuse me, James Horner.
James Horner. I know. I totally thought it was Horner. Alan Silvestri, basically Robert Zemeckis' house composer. He's done just about all of Robert Zemeckis' movies since Romancing the Stone. But before that,
did he do Roger Rabbit?
He did.
I saw the okay, that explains that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Forrest Gump. Yeah, he did all those Zemeckis films. He's Zemeckis' composer of choice. He's of Italian stock, as you I imagine you would surmise from Silvestri.
Yeah.
Although, come to think of it, there's a conductor named Silvestri who's Romanian, Constantine Silvestri. But I digress. But his grandparents came from Italy, and his family settled in Teaneck. And he went to school there, grew up there, and then he moved to Los Angeles, and he had no idea what he wanted to do. He had studied at Berklee College of Music in Boston for 2 years, and he played drums in a garage band, in Teaneck.
Mm-hmm.
But he got out there in LA and he didn't know what to do. So he's working as a session guitarist on the Doberman Gang. You remember those movies? There's the Amazing Dobermans, the Doberman Gang or whatever. He's working one of the Doberman movies.
That's fun.
And the producer said, why don't you write the score for the movie? And he said, oh, well, he couldn't say no to that, but he didn't know the first thing about writing a film score. So he picked up, Earl Hagen had a book, I guess, and he learned how to score from Earl Hagen's book, apparently. Now, Earl Hagen, if you watch Me TV or any of the classic TV from the 50s and 60s, you'll know his, and 70s, you'll know his name because he did the themes for the Dick Van Dyke Show and for Andy Griffith, Gomer Pyle, USMC, and That Girl, Mod Squad, I Spy. So anyway, the Silvestri didn't do that, but in fact, there's no R in Silvestri there.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the first R is not there. That's you have a Silvestri. Okay, I ruined it.
Thanks, Ross. Go ahead.
No. So, in the 80s, he was in the 70s and 80s, he was the primary composer for Chips. If you were a fan of the Eric Estrada, the Highway Patrol thing, he wrote a lot of the music for Chips. So, do I have anything else? He was nominated for Best Original Score for Forrest Gump, for Best Original Song for Believe from the Polar Express, and was nominated for 9 Grammy Awards. But and the other big thing is he got involved with the Marvel movies. He did the score for Captain America: The First Avenger, which is very John Williams-esque, not as rich as Raiders of the Lost Ark, but certainly in that kind of style. And then he got a job. He's been doing a lot of doing the Avengers movies. Actually, he did the first Avengers movie. Yeah.
So he's a working composer for sure.
He's a working composer. So he's not, he's done a lot of, you can't be in the business and not do movies. You're not, he did like the A-Team movie and stuff like that, that aren't going to be remembered. But he did enough movies that people, first-rate movies that are either Oscar-nominated movies or blockbusters that he's, going to be a name that people remember. So that's Alan Silvestri. I forgot to look up how old he is now.
He's 75. He's 75.
Wow.
And it's interesting that you were saying that he lived in Teaneck, because my dad grew up in Teaneck, and I was wondering, how old he was. I figured Alan Silvestri was a bit younger. So my dad turns 85 this year, whereas Alan Silvestri is 75 right now. So they're about 9 years apart. And actually, I was born in Teaneck as well too. So
there you go.
Yeah. So there's that.
Did you know him?
I did not know him. No.
Yeah. Now, Teaneck is one of those places where it seems like a lot of people have ties to Teaneck.
Well, it's almost like during what was it? It was in Superman the movie, the original from 1978.
Yeah. Hoboken.
When Lex says, there's 2 missiles. There's one headed for the San Andreas Fault, and then they ask, where's the second one going? And he goes, Hackensack, New Jersey.
Hackensack, that's what it was. Yeah.
So it's like so close. Bergen County.
Right, Hackensack, exactly. And he did the music for Predator, which I've still never seen.
You never saw Predator?
We'll have to do it sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that came out in '87, so it was right around. It's in the same time frame.
I've never seen any of the Predator movies. So.
No, very cool.
Who knew it would turn into such a franchise?
Yeah.
That's the thing. They'll do it, and then maybe they'll do a sequel, and then it goes dormant for a few decades, and then somebody says, "Why don't we dig that up and maybe we can make some money off of this?"
Well, and that's just it now. I mean, so much time. It's like if you're looking at it's not even like the 20-year cycle. It's more like the 30-year cycle with films now and everything. It's just it's kind of crazy.
Nothing's safe anymore. They'll reach back and dig up something that you figure there'll never be a sequel to it because the movie's 40 years old, and then suddenly it becomes a franchise and they run it into the ground. Make you hate it.
Make you hate Oh, that's funny. But yeah, it's nothing's safe anymore.
Nope.
Nothing is. I don't know. Like we were just talking about. Well, earlier. I mean, the day the Earth stood still. I mean, there's
Yeah.
some things. I get it. I get wanting to revisit certain things, but some things should just be left alone. I mean, yeah,
How can we improve it? How can we make it relevant for today?
yeah,
How can we
yeah.
make some money? Yeah. Yeah, my mother lives in Atkins.
Linda commented earlier too. I didn't put it in. She said, amongst my rats, I had a locutus, Hugh, and Leaner. Oh, and Chopin.
Chopin. Yeah.
Okay. Chopin. Sorry.
Yeah. Linear. Yeah.
Locutus of Borg and Hugh of Borg. I love it. Thanks for sharing that, Linda.
Wow.
And yes, Randy, Ed Harris did his own stunts. Yeah, and that was the other thing I wanted to point out. Speaking of people that are from New Jersey, we didn't really get a chance to talk about Ed Harris. Ed Harris was from New Jersey. He was born in Englewood, New Jersey. In fact, his dad was a choir member of the Fred Waring.
Oh, really?
And Fred Waring, I remember this from years ago because when I lived up in the Poconos. He owned Shawnee on the Delaware, and he used to perform up there, and he had his own TV show. So it's all interconnected. And he lived in Tenafly, New Jersey, for some time. So that again, Bergen County. So and they're the same. They are the same age. So I wonder if Alan Silvestri maybe even knew Ed Harris, because Ed Harris is 75 and Alan Silvestri is 74. So they could have their paths could have crossed, perhaps, especially with his dad and everything too. Bill said, well, Star Trek made bringing back an old show viable 10 years later. Yep, absolutely. The rat in the breathing liquid scene negotiated its own contract. Yeah, but it wasn't a good one. Chop in, you peasant. There you go. So anyway, but yeah, I think we covered a lot, and definitely a fun movie. Well, yeah, interesting, nostalgic movie because we saw it for almost 38 years ago, and I think it still holds up. I mean,
yeah, it's absolutely. It looks like it could have been made today, except for the topical stuff, the stuff with the Russians, the Soviets, and in fact the scenes that they added on the beach, with the tsunamis and what have you. Those are the ones that are the weakest in the movie. Everything else looks like it could have been done now.
Yeah. I really thought it held up.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it looked great.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, the guy who Barbarella remake, is there going to be one, or is it?
Yeah, I think Kane's starring in it.
The corpse. You might not have seen it though, because I don't know if it was in your version or just the special edition. But they go into the submarine. The nuclear submarine. Did they do that in yours? The one, the original? Oh, they do. So was there a corpse with the crab coming out of the mouth? And
that was Cameron's brother.
I thought it was going to be. I thought it was a dummy or something, but no, it was his brother. Yeah, the crab run out of his brother's mouth.
That was his brother. Oh my god!
And the two of them were developing all this technological stuff on the film. So what are you doing?
I don't know why it's doing that, Ross.
This should be our new opening.
I'm not a fan of that.
Could we put the music under what you're doing now?
Oh, you want me to put the music?
Yeah. I think Earl Hagen wrote that theme.
There you go. That's too funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a new functionality of not Facebook, of StreamYard.
This feels very, very much like a 70s TV show here.
Yeah, really. And I'm not a fan of it.
Well, we're almost done with the show anyway.
Yeah, and I was actually going to have Roy's getting bored. No, I'm not getting bored. I'm just getting frustrated because I didn't do that, and I don't know why that came up like that. So anyway,
maybe you hit a key.
Maybe I did. Let me see if I can erase that.
Give me a key, and I'll sing Lydia the Tattooed Lady.
There you go. I can't get rid of it.
Give me a bouncy C.
It's in the porn movie. Anyway, I'm just going to bring Warren on just for a minute because he just wanted to share comments about it. But I'm going to do the shout outs, and we're going to just talk about the one item. So anyway, hey Warren.
Oh, hey Warren.
Nice mustache, Warren.
What's so funny? As you can tell, I grew out my Michael Bean mustache. So it's actually evil Warren tonight, okay?
Good boy.
He just dropped into evil for a second. Well, that was evil. He totally trolled us.
That was the evil Roy. That was a mirror universe Roy, because as you see, there's two of me up here, just like there's two Rosses.
Well played.
How's it going, Warren?
Hey, good. Thanks for having me on. You guys, The Abyss is one of my favorites, so I just wanted to chime in. You guys covered everything so well. The only other thing you left me with that didn't really come up is I've always been fascinated. Now, you guys talked about the extended edition. That actually premiered back in the day on Laserdisc only. So this was one of those things where back in the early 90s, we were shelling out like $150, $200 for a big deluxe Laserdisc set. And The Abyss, of course, was one of them because we were so anxious to see this extra 31 minutes. So, but it was a beautiful time. But other than that, guys, in my mind, The Abyss, you guys didn't really talk about the documentary. And on that same Laserdisc, there's a very, very famous documentary called Under Pressure, The Making of The Abyss. And I think you can find it on YouTube for anybody out there. And it is phenomenal. Like, you guys were talking about all the tension behind the scenes on set, things with Ed Harris almost drowning and losing his life. Like, they interview him and he's talking about that. And it's like,
oh, interesting. That's cool.
It's intense. It's really, really well done. And yeah, so long story short, this movie was, in every sense, it was the culmination of practical effects work in motion pictures. Because as Ross was saying, you guys both touched on it, the fact that they shot this in basically a giant swimming pool,
yeah,
in this nuclear silo, and everything was done practically. Like, it is truly remarkable. But it was, so on one hand, the most difficult practical effects movie ever made, but at the same time, it was also a crossroads, because what else did it introduce? The very first use of CGI.
CGI, yeah.
Right. So it stands in a very interesting place in history, in my mind. Yeah, no, fantastic movie. That's about all I had.
I forgot the one other thing, and then I'll let you do your thing. I forgot the one other practical thing they did is to use an actual automatic weapon to fire.
Right.
They gave the actor a machine gun to fire on set. How dangerous is that?
Yeah. No, crazy.
Yeah, well, great point, especially
with other actors present. Yeah,
and it's funny, that you're mentioning that, because like in the back of my mind, I was thinking about that. Like, immediately what comes to mind is everything that happened, and well, I don't even want to say, but you know where I'm going with that. But anyway. Alrighty, so thanks for that additional commentary, Warren. Even though there's two of you out there, and there's two me's and there's two Rosses, I know it's not Facebook, it's StreamYard, and StreamYard is like taking off with different things that you can do, and I don't know how I tricked this, but I'm not a fan of this. So
no problem. The only other thing where I wanted to point out is sorry. There's a one scene in The Abyss that really, really, in my mind, was reminiscent of an episode of Space 1999, War Games, Roy, which you'll appreciate. And it's the shot of Koenig in space drifting. Mm-hmm. The Abyss has a very similar scene where Bud is dropping down the abyss, and all you see is his little glow stick on one side of the frame, and the rest is just pitch black. And it really creates a sense of loneliness.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. And they were talking about that too, working on the soundstage and how, or not the soundstage, but in the tank and how dark it was, and you couldn't see anything. So that was done. It was very effective. I mean, Cameron really achieved. I feel that he achieved what he was attempting to achieve, but it'll be interesting to go back and watch that documentary that you're talking about, because I'm sure that they really open up about things. And just from what I read, and Ross, I'm sure will agree, that there was a lot of tension and just a lot of, I don't think any of them, from the sound of it, would actually work with Cameron again if the opportunity prevailed. At least not, the three main stars of the movie.
We've gotten so comfortable in science fiction, at least we did to a point, about space travel, where it just seemed like, okay, we're in space, but we're walking around a controlled environment or whatever. And I watched something like The Abyss, and it just brings home just how awful it would be to be in space, because that's what it would be. You'd be all cramped into these, and there's a hostile environment outside. So you spring a leak, or your oxygen gets out, and it really, more than a lot of the space movies, this one really got to me as far as recognizing how fragile that whole life-sustaining system is at the bottom of the ocean.
And Warren, I think that's your point about you're doing the cross between The Abyss in 1999 in regards to that one scene from War Games, because Koenig is just like, it's just him in space. I mean, he's orbiting the planet. So it's, to what Ross just said, the loneliness. I mean, it's just, there's nothing else. So it's really conveyed. What's the name of that documentary again, Warren? Because Sue is actually asking again.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's called Under Pressure: The Making of the Abyss. Okay. Yeah. And it's there's even there's interviews that they do with some of the cast, and I'm pretty sure Gail Ann Hurd was on there, Ross. And they're talking to her about the shoot and the arduous conditions that they were all under. And I think she sort of coined a phrase, and she sort of said behind the scenes, some of the cast were sort of calling this shoot or referencing it as life's abyss and then you die. So yeah, it was a very, very good documentary.
Okay.
So.
We'll check it
Alrighty. Well, thanks for sharing that information. And what I'm going to do is just go to the shout outs real quick. So actually, let me just bring that up on the screen. Just give me 1 second. Roy's Tie-Dye Sci-Fi Corner, bringing you our creative awareness through our shout outs. How does that make you feel? Cricket. I think I have deprivation sickness going on here. No, in all seriousness. So, this is like a self-promoting plug, but why not, right? Right, Warren? So this Sunday, Warren and I actually started doing this back in October of 24, which is kind of crazy. And and actually, you know what? I'm just the master of the slides tonight, because I'm just like messing things up. So Warren, while I'm like fumbling here and refumbling,
you're asking me to improvise a little bit.
Yeah,
I can talk to Ross. There was one thing I wanted to talk to Ross about, and that also came up a little earlier tonight. And the three of us talked throughout 2025, but I'd still love to come on sometime and do a David Lynch retrospective. With Ross, and maybe we could even couple that with an actual reaction video of Roy watching a David Lynch movie for the first time.
Oh my God! All right, I'm back. Anyway, Sherry says hi.
I'm up for Lynch. The only thing we've done, I think, is Dune.
Yeah, I think so too. But
I think you're right. The only thing,
yeah.
No, that would actually we could do that. I'm not into the whole reaction stuff though.
No, I'm just.
I think that
would. But it's just, if once you see a Lynch movie, you'll appreciate how that could be so just crazy funny to watch somebody's reaction, because watching a Lynch movie is not your everyday ordinary fare. That's for sure.
No, it's not. Sue said that would be cool. So there you go.
Yeah, there we go. Awesome.
And
Okay, Roy. Well,
okay, so anyway, what I was
Sherry.
starting to say,
Okay,
I was
back to
starting
reality.
back to reality. Yeah, no, that was all on me. Yeah, so Warren and I started doing this back in October of 80, yeah, 80 of 24. I was going to say 84, right? Where we were going through and talking about each Space 1999 episode, and we called it is Space 1999 this episode, and it can be viewed on YouTube. I'm not going to say it can be viewed on Facebook because, as our friends out there know, Facebook live videos don't stay on past 30 days anymore. So you can go to YouTube. It's called Space 1999 this episode, and essentially what we did was we went through and discussed the first 24 episodes of season 1 of Space 1999. And along the way, we actually had different guests on, whether it be fans, and we also had guests from the series. And we did that. And then it led up to the convention that took place, Space 1999 in California. It was Space 1999 in Los Angeles. That was in Burbank this past September. And then we made the decision that we were going to go through and do the year 2 episodes. So we are going to be starting that this Sunday, which is January 25th. It will be a live broadcast, and it will be at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, with the slides, here we go. I am, again, the king of the slides tonight because I got 2 things going on here. They say 3 is a charm, guys. Do you believe that? No comment.
I think you're changing the time, right?
Yeah, the time is going to be this Sunday, January 25th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we are going to be premiering with our season 2 episode, which is going to be The Metamorph, which is the first episode of the second season of Space 1999. And it will be Warren and myself, and we are going to have on as a special guest one of the fans of the show. And that will be Missy O'Neill, and she will be joining us to talk about The Metamorph. And that was my plug for it, Warren. Now you can give your 15 minutes speech on it. And I know how much of a fan of Space 1999 Ross is. So
I know. He's
maybe you want to make it a half an hour speech.
He's bird in his phone. I was watching him. But no, listen, I won't dwell. Roy did it. You covered everything there nicely. It was a lot of fun, and we're just so thankful for all the viewers out there, as you are, Roy, with your show. We've both seen a strong support group, and it just goes without saying that we can't thank you guys enough out there. Tune in for season 2. It's going to be bigger, better, more exciting than ever. And it was, you know what? And even over the last year, it was, there was even a segment that we did where we had Ross on as a guest star, if you recall. So
oh my goodness, yeah, that's right. I did pop in, didn't I?
Yeah. So it's everybody's welcome, and we're going to have a lot of fun leading into Manchester 1999 this year, and everything else that's also going on within Space 1999 fandom. So thanks.
Yeah, no, thanks for that, and I'll let you give the other plug too, Warren, since I got you there. Hold on.
Another one.
Yeah, you brought it up. You said about Manchester.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yes. We had all this planned out in advance, didn't we, Roy? So, all right, next shout out, and thank you so much. Manchester 1999, this September 11th, 12th, and 13th being Breakaway Day 2026. Overseas again with our friends and family on that side of the pond. We're so happy to be going back to where it all began this year, Roy and Ross. Hey, Ross, you should come along.
Yeah, I'll do that.
We have some very special things planned. We're also the exhibit room, of course, goes without saying, but we're opening things up to include all of the Jerry Anderson properties, including Thunderbirds, Joe 90, Supercar, Captain Scarlet, you name it. We'll have representation from all of Jerry and Sylvia's properties. Some very special guests already announced: Nick Tate, Suzanne Peterson, Anton Phillips, Carolyn Seymour, friends of our show and yours, Roy. So again, lots of crossover here. And we hope everybody can make it and help us celebrate the continuing 50th anniversary.
Awesome. Thanks, Warren. Yeah, and that's the other thing I want to point out. So, like with the date that we are doing Space 99, this episode, this Sunday, the 25th of January, it does time out because production of Space 1999 Year 2 actually started on January 26th of 1976. So literally this coming Monday, it will be 50 years that production began for the Metamorph. So that's why I was kind of like hoping that if, when Warren and I were talking about, as far as doing this, I was like, why don't we do it maybe on that Sunday? Because it's literally the day before. So it's literally 50 years that production began. So we're kind of like in tune with that. And Year 2, I mean, there's a lot of, I'm not going to, I could go on for hours and hours. And I won't do that to Ross, but it's just that we're going to celebrate the second series of Space 1999. A lot of fans, there's a lot of Year 2 fans out there. There's a lot of Year 1 fans out there. There's a lot of fans of both series. So we're looking forward to going through the episodes and touching upon that. And it'll definitely be fun, as Warren was indicating. So anyway, that's that. So, all righty. And then in regards to the rest of the shout outs, I'm going to go back. Just want to give a shout out to Country Gate Theater, the Country Gate Playhouse. There's a lot of things going on with Country Gate. If you are in the Belvedere, New Jersey area, I've got the one slide right now. So the Miracle Worker is going to be coming, and it's going to be for 2 weekends. It's April 18th through the 19th, and that's the first weekend. And then it's April 25th through the 26th. And my friend Bill Scorado is the owner of the theater. And if you want to find out information about more about Country Gate, you can go to www.countrygate.org. Bill also has his own personal website, which is www.billscorado.com. The other thing I would like to mention is that there is going to be a murder mystery taking place. It will be on February 7th, and that will be at Tipton's Restaurant. It's in Harmony, New Jersey. For tickets, just go to the website. You can find out more information about that. And then also, there will also be a murder mystery taking place at Harker's Hollow, and that will be later in the month. So again, if you want to find out information about it, definitely check out the website address, www.countrygate.org, for more information. And also, I want to give a shout out to friends Mike and Mary Beth from Sci-Fi Distilled. They are on Wednesday nights, and they are going to be back this Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and they will be discussing 2 weird movies that go together. They're not sure what movies those will be. In fact, they may be talking about a couple more movies than 2, might be 3 or 4. But anyway, that's their topic. That will be this Wednesday, so definitely check them out for that. And also want to give a shout out to Captain Phil's Planet, WUSB 90.1 FM, Stony Brook, New York. Captain's schedule is on Thursdays at 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then Friday nights, which is now, from 9 to 11:30 p.m. In fact, I was just talking about Mike and Mary Beth. He actually has them on this weekend, or this Friday, and they're on next Friday. So Mary Beth is kind of leading with, I guess she had picked out the songs that they're going to be playing and going over. Mike and the captain will be there also. So the 3 of them are going to be doing the broadcast tonight, with Mary Beth leading the broadcast. Next Friday, they will be back, only it's going to be Mike leading along with Mary Beth and Captain Phil being there. So just want to give them a shout out. So if you jump off this broadcast, you can jump on to them. Internet radio, 90.1 FM, Stony Brook, New York. You can check them out. So shout out to them. Also want to give a shout out to my son, Ryan, for Run by Ryan, Empower Your Run. It's an online run coaching service provider. There is no charge to subscribe to the website. However, if you want to partake in the different levels of fitness that he offers, there is a charge associated with that. The website address is www.runbyryan.com. Ryan is very passionate about running. In fact, he just ran a New York City Marathon back in November, and he did an amazing job, coming in at 2 hours, 32 hours, 32 minutes and 30 seconds. And he was like 160 out of like almost 50,000 people. So he's very passionate, and he's amazing when it comes to that. So if you definitely have an interest in it, definitely check out his website, and he does a great job with that. And Ross, if you can let everybody know what's going on.
All right. Well, these are the 3 recorded shows I have on KWAX now, out on the West Coast. Picture Perfect's the movie music show that just ended. And Warren, what I was doing, I got some text from somebody that was listening to the show. That's why I looked at it.
Just bugging you. No problem.
Yeah. Are you playing something with 60s organ on Picture Perfect? I don't think this is the right time slot. But it turns out it was, and he missed the back announcement. So I've got to tell him what movie it was. Anyway, so that's the movie music show that just ended on Friday night. Sweetness and Lights, the light music show. That's the one where I was working 4 hours to put together a 1-hour show today. That airs tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock Eastern. And The Lost Chord is unusual and neglected repertoire. Sweetness and Light, by the way, it's all snow-oriented. So I'm sure they're going to love that out on the West Coast. But here it's very, very in. So it's going to be all light music about snow. And then The Lost Chord is unusual and neglected stuff. I'm doing Jan Leif's Saga Symphony. It's all stuff from the Viking, the Norse sagas is what it is. And they're playing all kinds of strange instruments like, tuned rocks and anvils and lures, the Viking longhorns and things. That's tomorrow night at 7 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, I tease these things on my Facebook page. If you follow my Facebook page, you'll find write-ups on there tomorrow. A classic Ross Amico. And I do see somebody from here just followed moments ago. So thank you.
Oh, nice.
That's
for
awesome.
following the page. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm not very colorful tonight, but it's after 9 o'clock, so it's past my bedtime.
It's all good.
Thanks, Roy.
Thanks, Ross. Appreciate it.
Thanks for your patience, Warren. Thanks for not checking your phone.
Just kidding. But you know what? To alleviate some of that boredom, I mean, just pop out for 2 minutes, draw a little mustache on your face, and come back.
There you go. And just to let everybody know, Ross and I will be back this Friday. That's going to be January 30th. And I have 2025, which will be 2026. Again, I'm at the top of my game with my slides tonight. So
it's a good thing nobody writes checks anymore.
Yeah, really. So anyway, with that said, Ross and I will be back 1 week from tonight. Stay tuned as far as what we're going to be covering. However, one thing I can tell you, and I don't have a slide for this, is episode 289 will be next Sunday, and that will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I am very happy to say that I will be having on as a very special guest, Mr. John Kenneth Muir, and he will be discussing Abnormal Fixation, his internet web series. We had him on a few times last year for season 1. Season 2 is going to be premiering towards the beginning of February. So we're going to be talking about that, sharing a lot of insight into that, and looking forward to having John back on the show. And stay tuned, and I'll be talking more about that later.
Ooh, John's a great guy. Yeah, everybody tune in.
Yeah, John is a great guy. He really is. And he's a big Space 1999 fan. That was for you, Ross. So anyway,
Hey,
I want to thank everybody.
Website. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. It was a fun show. Thanks, Warren, for coming on at the last minute and just to talk about everything. And everyone, especially in the path of the snowstorm, stay safe and just stay warm, and hopefully everybody gets through it okay. So as always, live long and prosper.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good luck.
Take care, everybody.